Welcome to yoga. The theme of the practice today is going to be balance. And through the yoga practices of asana, pranayama, and meditation. And we're going to focus on muscle imbalances in the lower body that are common because of modern habits of, as we talked about last week, sitting, a lot of sitting, a lot of devices, work arms in front, and sometimes habitual movements that we do through our sports or just physical exercise. And so the pelvis can get out of alignment with these muscle imbalances. It can be tilted, one side higher than the other, rotated, one hip further ahead than the other, or there can be excessive, tilted forward, excessive curvature in the low back. So we're going to be doing some poses today that try to counteract that. We're going to begin seated or supine. So while you're getting settled in a comfortable place, I'm just going to say a few words about yoga. So yoga is a very ancient practice that used to be, the main emphasis was on the spiritual part. So the body practice, asana, was not major. It was just strengthening the body so you could be seated in meditation for a long time and reach enlightenment. And as the practice has evolved, especially in the United States, it came over here in the 1960s. The emphasis here has always been more on the body, the strength and stretching part of yoga. However, the same elements of the 8-limb path are still present in a complete yoga practice. So even though we work on the body, this is hatha yoga, there is also pranayama, which is the breath work, which balances, the asana practice balances the body. The pranayama or breath work balances the nervous system, and meditation balances the brain. So we work mainly with the physical part and a lot with pranayama. Meditation is just about focus, and we do a little bit of that at the beginning and end of practice, although we're focusing during practice too. But that meditation part, which is the more spiritual part, is something that you can really work on at home too. But all those parts make yoga a practice which is different from just physical exercise. So you can get physical workout, but also the other benefits of the yoga practice are always built in there. So you're on your backs or seated. Just begin to center, bring your awareness inside. Close your eyes. Scan your body. Notice where your body is today. You can also notice emotions. Notice the busyness of your mind. And through the practice, we'll be working on balancing all those parts of you today. And we're going to start with the pranayama practice called the health breath. And I want to credit the person I got this from. His name is Lee Albert, and I took a workshop from him a few years ago and have his books. And he is a yoga teacher who's also an expert in neuromuscular pain relief. And he is a great example of the evolution of yoga to the modern day, but a yoga practice which is different but still retains the basic elements of ancient yoga. So a yoga adapted to the modern world. So this health breath, you start by, well, first make sure your face, neck, jaw are relaxed. Make sure you're relaxed as much as you can be in whatever posture you are. Exhale completely. So empty your lungs, pull your belly back a little bit to get that last bit out. And then as you inhale, inhale to a count of 3. Full inhale, soft belly. Inhale to a count of 3. Pause, complete stillness, count of 3. Exhale to a count of 6. And that's it. So each time you're going to inhale 3, pause 3, exhale 6. So on the inhale, you're taking a complete full breath, bringing oxygen into your body. The oxygen's going to every cell where it's a necessary component to create the energy in your body that runs everything in your body. So you're bringing that prana, oxygen in fully, deep breath. The pause is a stillness, which some say is the God space where God can enter. You can think of it as just a detachment from your thoughts, a stillness. When your body's still, your mind is still. And the exhale, twice as long as the inhale, not only gets rid of toxins, the carbon dioxide, anything you don't need, but it is a signal via the vagus nerve to enable your parasympathetic nervous system. So that's the opposite of fight and flight. It's rest and digest. It relaxes. It lowers your heart rate, balances your blood pressure, normalizes your blood pressure. And also relaxes your muscles. So it's a signal to your muscles, it's okay, relax, you're not under threat. So this health breath, that's how it's healthy. It energizes your body, but also relaxes, decreases stress. It's a pranayama practice. That means it's a practice that you do in stillness. It's not a breath that you use when you're going about your daily activities or during yoga practice. It's a practice like meditation that's done in stillness. You can do it anywhere. And it's a great practice for wellness. Now at the end of your next exhale, release the pranayama. Just return to a normal breath, but a breath that is deep and slow and even, a breath you can maintain during practice. And now that you've relaxed and seen yourself a little bit as you are this morning, create an intention for your practice. Greatly enhances, creating the intention and repeating it makes it very more likely that you will get out of your practice what you'd like. And then we're going to begin our practice in standing. So best for you, come all the way up to standing. And we'll build a mountain pose. So starting with your feet, lift and spread your toes. Press down evenly through the four corners of your feet. Your feet are parallel, hip width or a little closer. So press down lightly into the mat, activating your legs, lengthening your legs. Take a slight tuck in your tailbone and lift your rib cage from your pelvis. So lengthen through the side waist. Open your heart, shoulders come together a little closer on your back. Externally rotate your arms, palms face front. spread your fingers, bring your chin parallel to the floor and slightly back, and lift up through the crown of your head. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Now, soften a little bit, release any effort, any exertion that you don't need to maintain the posture. And just bring your awareness to your breath. Slow, deep, even breath. Inhale, lengthen down, lengthen up. Exhale, soften, shoulders down from the ears, shoulder blades together, chest a little more open. Stay with your breath. Notice how the breath moves in the body. Face relaxed, jaw relaxed, shoulders down from the ears. One more slow, deep, even breath. And then open your eyes, and we're going to begin with some warm-up movements that we're going to do 10 times each, and I'll take care of the counting, so you just move with your own breath. And you might be behind or ahead, doesn't matter. So we're going to start in mountain, and then on an inhale, raise our arms up overhead, palms toward the fingertips toward the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold, bending your knees, whatever's right for your body. And then inhale back up. That was one. Keep on just like that. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold. Stay with your breath. Inhale lifts you right up. Exhale, forward fold. 3 more. You can close your eyes if that works. Move with your breath. And the last one. And then keep your arms up. I'm going to do 10 side bends to each side. So inhale, lengthen, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the right. You can hold your wrist. You can clasp your fingers. You can have your hands on your waist. So modify it that works for you, that you can feel the stretch, but it's not too much. I'll be counting. End of 2. Press through the outer foot to get a little more stretch each time. But don't overstretch. Find that nice, comfortable stretch that feels good. It's not too much and it's not too little. Breathe into the stretch. Two more. And then bring your arms back down to your side. You might want to just gently roll out your shoulders a little bit. Step your feet a little wider apart. And we're going to do twists of the spine. So your arms are just going to hang. So not active arms, just hang like you have empty coat sleeves. And each time we're going to go to the side and just pat yourself on the back side. 2, 3, 4. So don't overdo this. Just 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Then you can bring your feet. You can keep your feet wide or bring them together, whatever's comfortable. We're going to do 10 shoulder rolls, so just backwards. Inhale, bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears, and then exhale, slowly round them back. Up to your ears. As you roll them back, you're strengthening the muscle between your shoulder blades, stretching the chest. Move slowly. Be with the movement the whole way. 5 more. Check in with your breath. Slow, deep, even. 2 more. Last one. And then just stand in mountain pose for a few breaths. Feel the energy. Reconnect with your breath. And we're going to do a few rounds of half sun salutation. So inhale with chair pose. Inhale, arms go up, reach up, palms spread. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, set your hips back first, and then bring your upper body into chair. And exhale all the way up, hands around to Anjali Mudra. So a few more like that. Inhale goes up. Exhale, forward fold. Set your hips back first. Most of the weight will be in your heels, and then inhale your arms up and all the way up. Now, if those arms don't work for you, you can have your arms in Anjali Mudra for chair. You can bring your arms back. You can have them out to goalpost on your hips. So please modify to make this pose the best to work for you today, the best that you can do today. And do one more. And then we'll meet back in mountain pose. And we're going to hold the next pose for 1 minute. It's each side. It's crescent moon pose. So it's basically a lateral bend that we're going to hold. So inhale, arms go up, reach up, clasp the left wrist with your right hand and side bend to the right. And we're going to hold here for a minute. So breathe in to the side that's stretching, your left side. Try to keep your arms framing your ears. And press a little bit more down into the left foot and keep reaching up and out with your left fingertips. Always option to close your eyes if you have the balance. Make sure your face is relaxed. So this pose is stretching. You will notice the outer hip muscles, the rotators, the abductors, and the IT band down the side of your left leg. And this is a pose that counteracts the imbalances, corrects the imbalances that cause a elevated pelvis, so one hip higher than the other. Now, it's not going to happen right this minute while you're doing the pose once, so this is something you can practice at home if you have that elevated pelvis. And then inhale back to center. Arms down, roll your shoulders out, and we'll do that to the left. So inhale, left hand, right wrist, side bend to the left. If this is not good for your arms or shoulders, you can have your left hand on your head and your right arm down by your right hip. Or you can have your hands on your waist. So modify the way that's right for you. Press a little bit more into the right foot, stretching the outer hip muscles here. It also stretches some low back muscles. If you've wandered from your breath, come back to it. Think about inhaling into the stretch side, exhaling, perhaps softening a little more down. And then inhale back up, come back into mountain pose. So reaffirm that you're pressing lightly into your feet, chest is lifted, shoulders back and down, arms externally rotated. Lift up through the crown of your head. Soften where you can. Let's take 3 breaths here. And we're going to do a little balance here, a one-leg balance. So find your gaze point, your drishti, something that's not moving. So this is a way to still the mind. If your eyes are still, that helps to still your mind. Let the weight come into your left foot. Come up onto your right toes. Make sure your core is activated, so zip in and up. And then bring your right knee up, and while we're holding this, we're going to rotate your ankles both directions, point and flex the foot. So this is just giving you something to do while you're balancing, and also bringing some movement into your ankles, which are very important and sometimes overlooked, often overlooked. And then bring your right foot down. Just walk out your feet a little bit, shake off any tension there. And we'll do the other side. So, press down into your right foot, come onto your left toes. Make sure you've got your gaze point set. Face is relaxed, jaw relaxed. Inhale your left knee up and work your left ankle. So just make sure you move in both directions with the rotations. Yoga's about balance, balancing the sides, the front, the back, body. And then bring the left foot down. And we are going to come to sitting. So inhale, you should be at the front edge of your mat. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees so that you can place your hands on the mat and step back into down dog, but not to stay. Take just one quick stretch here, reach your tailbone up. Then inhale your knees to the mat. Set your legs out to the side and come around onto your back bottom for take a seat. And we're going to just quickly do a cow face pose. So your left foot is going to come to your right hip and your right foot to your left hip. So your your right knee is stacked over your left knee. Okay? And then sit with a tall straight spine. You can also do this on your back. If this is not working for you here in the upright posture, you can go onto your back and cross your legs too. So sit up nice and tall here. Notice where the stretch is in the outer thigh area. So you're stretching the muscles that rotate the hip out and also that abduct the hip. And then change the cross of your legs. So left knee's on top, or if you're on your back, same configuration, you're just not putting the pressure of the weight of your upper body. So inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale, see if you can consciously soften those outer hip muscles. And then come back to center. And we're going to do an open-hearted warrior pose. So start on all fours. Take your left leg back. So you're going to keep, for this pose, you're going to keep your the bottom below the knees right under your thigh. So normally in pigeon you take the knee out to the side. We're not going to do that here. We're going to sit back on the right calf and slide the left leg back and come up, arms out to the side. Now if that version is too much, you can come forward onto your forearms and just let your head hang, so you're not necessarily collapsing onto your front thigh, but you're being held up by your arms and bending over your right thigh. So feeling the stretch in the hip flexor here on the front of your left thigh. And if you're in the upright position, you're also stretching your chest muscles and strengthening the back muscles. So we're going to hold here for a while. It's a bit of a balance pose too. But always give yourself permission. If effort turns to struggle, you can come down onto your forearms or come out all together and go into child's pose. So please modify in the way that's best for you today. You won't get out of a pose as much as you can if you don't find your middle way and what the place that's the effort that's right for you. A few more seconds. And then come out of that, come back to all fours, and we'll do the other side. So this time you're going to bring your left knee up toward your left wrist and slide your right leg back. And then choice to bring your upper body up. That's pretty strong in the back, so you can also adjust your legs. You can bring the knee back a little bit. So find the place again where this side's going to be different too, so please honor the differences in your sides. We're all asymmetrical in our hips and legs. Don't lose your breath, so come back to your breath. Just notice how it is to be in a pose that's a little challenging. A few more seconds. And then come out and we're just going to do a little vinyasa here to just bring some movement. So come to all fours, tabletop. Inhale and tabletop. Exhale, bring your hips back over your heels in child's pose. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up into downward facing dog. And we'll just do that one more time. Inhale, knees to the mat, tabletop. Exhale, round back into child's pose. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale back down. Bring your legs out to the side. Come over onto your seat. And come down onto your back for bridge pose. So bridge pose strengthens the back. By the way, open-hearted warrior that we just did is a pose that helps we did the elevated pelvis. Open-hearted warrior helps with a tilted pelvis. So when your quadriceps and hip flexors are short. Okay, so bridge pose is great for your back. So your feet are parallel, close to your hips. Roll your shoulder blades together under the back. Spread your fingers. On an inhale, lift your hips up. Don't worry about how high, just lift them up. This also strengthens your glute muscles. If you have a block and you want to put it between your legs, that helps to keep your knees from moving out. So find the place where you can hold for about a minute. You can clasp your hands under your back. So here you want to take actually a little tuck in your tailbone. So you want to protect your low back. So just lengthen your tailbone through your legs as if you were moving in that direction, just a little bit. And your chest is rising toward your chin, not the other way around. Protect your back of your neck. So this pose stretches the quadriceps and strengthens the back body. So you always give yourself permission to come down, maybe hug your knees into your chest, rock around. If you're still holding, Come on down. Everybody hug your knees into your chest and rock right and left. And then lengthen out your legs. Bend your right leg and you're gonna just hit yourself over onto your left hip a little bit. Give yourself a head start. Then draw the right knee over the left thigh. Right arm is out shoulder height. You can have your left hand on the knee to give a little more weight. But find a place where you can hold for about a minute. In supine twist, so this is a pose that helps with a rotated pelvis, so where one hip is ahead of the other. So we're stretching the muscles on the outer hip. So inhale into the stretch. Exhale, soften, consciously soften. You might feel a release in the lower leg. You might feel a release in the shoulder. You might feel a release in the top hip. Wherever you can soften on the exhale, try to stay right with that. So we're holding these for about a minute. So if you're practicing these at home, it's between 1 and 2 minutes for a lasting stretch. Okay, then inhale back to center. Lengthen out your right leg and press into your left foot and just come over a little bit onto the side of your right hip, and then draw the left knee over the right thigh, left arm out shoulder height. Notice the difference in this side, maybe a little more open or a little less open. So when we're sitting a lot or running or biking, the muscles of the outer hip can get too tight. So again, keep your focus, keep your attention on your body, on your breath, not to your thoughts. And make one more deep breath here, any release you can get. And then come back to center and prepare for Shavasana. So lengthen your legs out. You can have a rolled blanket under your knees. Anything that may keep you comfortable for Shavasana. Shavasana is just letting go of everything. It is an asana, but it is not pranayama and it is not meditation. It's just so like you look out of a window and see everything that's there without naming each thing. You just take it all in. That's read something about that once, and I think that's a nice way to think about Shavasana. Your senses are inside, but you're taking in everything and not labeling, not judging, not attaching to anything. Just surrendering to what is right in this moment. Gently bring your awareness back to the space. Begin to deepen your breath. Awaken your body with small movements. Maybe some stretches. And then bend your knees one at a time and come over onto your favorite side. Cradling your head in your arms. Just resting for a few breaths inside child's pose. Just noticing your body, emotions, brain, mind. At the end of practice, perhaps revisiting your intention. And then use your arms to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. can sit with your eyes closed with a tall spine. Just take 2 or 3 slow, deep, even breaths. Inhaling, filling your lungs. Exhale completely. Staying right with your breath. And then bring your hands, palms together at your heart space, bow lightly. Have gratitude to yourself for taking this time to practice yoga, to balance your body, your nervous system, your brain, and remember that yoga, both ancient and modern, is ultimately about self-awareness and surrender to what is, to our connection with every living thing, and it's about discovering the divine light in each and every one. That divine light that is also in every being, and that light in me bows to and honors the very same light in each of you. Namaste.